Well, 120 is what's happening. Hope everyone's having a good day because I am enjoying the heat for those in the valley. Tell you what, some people are already ready to work in the heat and can deal well with it. I will say I'm someone who is still learning. But hey, I just wanted to kind of continue on with the conversation or what it was shared last week. And there's no sense in talking about who our enemy, the devil, is without actually, again, following that up with, okay, it's one thing to talk about how our enemy works, but how do I actually deal with that enemy, right? And scripture gives us a whole lot of information and understanding, but sometimes every now and then God just blesses people to find the right information, or blesses a person to produce the information. Someone finds that information, puts that information together in a way that is unique to them, which is the beauty of each individual person, that diversity of thought, of race, of just everything. It's really an important aspect that brings to us the life more abundant, right? Because we have each other. It's not just scripture, because a person can sit in a cave and read scripture their whole life and still not understand or not really have the opportunity to live out certain aspects of it. So tonight I wanted to actually talk to you guys, or just share some thoughts, right, with you guys about fortification. We've been taking a look at who our enemy, the devil, is, his mindset, how he works, some of his methods, right? And these things actually help to fortify us, right, in defending against him. But the definition of the word fortification is, let's see here, so I don't misquote it to you guys. Fortification, something that fortifies, defends, or strengthens, right? So we can fortify ourselves against our enemy, the devil, by understanding how he works, his tactics, who he is. Scripture speaks a lot about him and how he's interacted with men, or certain things he's done in history, even his temptation of the Lord. And it doesn't really completely focus on him, right? It's a handbook that drops us cues to how he works, but we actually have to, one, take it a step, understand it, and then take it a step further. And that is, we fortify ourselves first. We defend ourselves by understanding what this guy's throwing at us. If I know this guy's a boxer, I know he's going to be aiming for my head with all the shots he's taking, right? If he's a kickboxer, well, then he's going to be punching and kicking at me. And these things help me to begin defending myself. But how do I move from a place of just defending to a place of strengthening? And one of the things that we as Christians get really good at is being like, you're not taking this space, Satan, not here today, Satan. It's like, no, man, not today, not tomorrow, not next week, bro. I'm coming after you. I understand how you work. That doesn't mean that I'm free from any temptation. I'm free from falling on my face, right? Like Paul said, hey, these are the things that I shoot for. It doesn't mean I have it, but this is the direction I'm going, right? And that's Aaron's words for those of you who know your scriptures there. So we need to be, obviously, in today's world with what's going on, we need to be in a position of not just defense fortification, but strength fortification, right? Because remember, something that fortifies is something that defends or strengthens. So we're going to focus on trying to make a move from defending ourselves from this guy, because we now know how he's kind of working, what some of his psyche is and his tactics against us, to moving to a place of strength and strength fortification. And now, okay, how do I proactively, right, deal with this guy? So you'll notice on the title of the video, right, it's Fortification 101, B.A.M, B.A.M. It's an acronym. And I would like to go into that with you guys tonight, so that we can kind of just maybe share with you guys what I'm learning and strengthen one another, right? And encourage each other all the more as the day approaches, scripture tells us. So I want to go through B.A.M, right? Hopefully it's something easy enough for you to remember when it comes down to, hey, Okay, Lord, I don't want to just be defensive all the time. I don't want to be on my heels constantly against Satan. I want to be on my toes. I want to be shooting back at him, right? I want to know how to actually throw some blows back because you said, Lord, that if I resist, he will flee from me. So how do I make unsafe ground for this individual? Well, the acronym B.A.M, right? Be sure, avoid, and maintain. Okay, B.A.M, Fortification 101. Be sure, avoid, and maintain. And I'm going to go into each one of these. And I actually made a mistake. So, DJ Jose, I have to apologize. I left one of the scripture citations off. Maybe we can add it later on the app and the videos or whatnot. But okay, so B.A.M, right? Be sure to cling to God's promises. Now, this information, I just want to be fair and honest, right? The book, The Christian in Complete Armor, a good deal of the information I got was what I was reading here. And then I was able to actually, in my mind, link those to scriptures, or the Spirit brought to my mind, hey, here's a scripture, that this relates to. Hey, here's something you read. So I was able to put these things together and surmise, but the totality of where this sprung from, the seed that where I got this from, was from this book, The Christian in Complete Armor, Volume 1. So be sure to cling to the promises of God. There's a couple of things that fall under this, and that is one, the ways to cling to the promises of God is you must study your scriptures, right? It may be offensive to some people. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to sugarcoat. I would rather somebody tell me the truth gruffly than sugarcoat lies to me. Okay. So devotional douchebaggery. We don't want to douchebag the Lord, right? And if we're not studying our scriptures and we're simply doing devotionals, it gets very hard to maintain or cling to the promises of God when all we have is a superficial understanding of them, right? If we do devotionals are meant to be like quick little 5-10 minute things. Like, here's a thought, here's an encouraging thing, great. But don't let that be the essence of your scripture study, right? Look up the definitions and the words. There's a difference between devotional and study, right? And we want to be people who study the scriptures because this is what gives us a deeper understanding, a clearer understanding, a more long-lasting understanding in the face of a fight of the promises of God. Now, the first thing that I want to read to you guys, right, is something that the promises of God come with a promise for justification, right? We're promised justification. We're promised salvation from God in a nutshell, okay? And I'm keeping this very simple because I'm someone who's very simple-minded. Thank God my wife decided to marry me because sometimes I think I'm way too simple-minded. She gives me some culture, but is it study? Yes. Thank you, Sherry. I really appreciate that for your comments. Rob Hutton, man, I love you. Thank you for being here. For those of you who are taking the time, sorry I didn't say so at first. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate you taking the time, and especially my family. Nobody owes you anything, right? So the promise of justification and the promise of salvation are the two major hitters that God promises us, right? We can go as deep as we want into all these other covenants and promises and this and that, but the main things that he's promised to us is justification and salvation, right? So, oh man, I think my battery's going to die on my computer here. I might have to get this going here. Sorry, guys. See if I can get this saved here. No. Oh. Well, for those of you who are watching this on StreamYard, this might not last. My computer, for some reason, was charged, but now it's dead and gone. So, anyways.
Hey, 120ers, if you guys are watching this, I guess everybody's going into Instagram. I'm going to try, Elizabeth, to get him back on there. I am trying to message him privately to get him back, because all he has to do is trying to plug in his computer, but I don't know if it'll reach where he's at. So anybody that's watching right now, just go to Instagram. If not, we're sorry, and we'll see you guys next Sunday. All right. Thank you.